Okay, so first project video. Now this one is the tilt sensor for fermenting some beer. Now, unfortunately, it's almost done. A lot of the hard work that was trying to work out how to get things to work fundamentally in the first place is done. But I'll show you the various bodging together stages of trying to get some weights in it, trying to calibrate it a little bit, trying to just see what it does and see whether it even works in the first place. And then we'll make some beer, and then we'll drink some beer, which is nice. Okay, so this is where I am with this tilt sensor. Now it's essentially, all it does is measure the angle that it floats at. And as the gravity of the beer changes, as it ferments, because the battery is going to be the heaviest part of this, and this is empty underneath, this end will float, and this end will sink, and as the gravity changes, it'll change the angle. So I've got a little microcontroller that has Wi-Fi. That takes a reading from this little sensor here, which is an MPU 6050, I think it is. Transmits it over Wi-Fi and graphs it out on my little server setup. I'll go through the graphing out part of the server another time. I'm just more interested in this at the moment, because what I want to do is firstly work out whether it works or not. I think it should do in theory, but I don't know. I've had it testing an angle, and I've had it floating in some sugary water to try and get it set up, but I've not really had a great deal of success. Now I just bodged in some of my daughter's Play-Doh to try and balance it. It didn't really work very well. So what I've done is I've bought some ball bearings that are really heavy, and I'm going to see if I can stick them around here, around the sides of the battery, to weight down this end and see if I can get it to balance, because I want it to, I don't know what angle that needs to be, because as the gravity changes it might move, framing, a lot when it's down at that angle, but as it comes up flat, well, maybe it might not move very much. So I don't know what it's going to do. Suck it and see, I guess. Let's see what happens. So the bit of plasticine that I had before was about that size. Well, that is the piece of plasticine I used before. So what I want to do is work out how much that weighs. So I've got my little coffee scales. And that weighs 18 grams. Okay. What shall I do here? Oh, here's a tip for you. Whatever you do, when you get a big bag of ball bearings delivered from Amazon, don't just open the bag in the kitchen, because it will have ripped, it will have opened, and it will cascade all over the floor. And on a tiled floor, it sounds hilarious. It is not. Right, so I need, what was it, 18 grams? 18 grams, thereabouts, of ball bearings. Alright, 15.7, maybe this might work. Let's put a few more in. That's 18 0.3, 19. Let's put 20 grams in and see if it goes down a little bit. Right. Let's see what it does. Right, so the next problem is, will these fit nicely in here? God, look at that, it's almost like it's made to do it. I had a little screwdriver thing somewhere. There it is. It's a watch strap adjusting tool, but it's quite handy for this. That's compressing that battery box. Don't want that to happen. Oh. Okay. I'll put a battery in just so that I know it's gonna. Let's put this in here. I wonder why one side's bigger than the other. Has that pushed it over? It has. Huh. Now do and make another one of these with that a little bit bigger. I wonder if I could make one of these with a little housing at the bottom here, just for holding these bearings. Or do I just hot glue them in? I wonder if I ever need to take the battery out. I wonder if I could come up with some kind of charging thing. Maybe that's the answer. If I took that... So this whole thing is going to sit inside one of these bottles. Goes in like that. With the lid on, obviously. If I had those wires coming out of there, I wonder if I could recharge the battery without having to take it out. Because getting that battery out of that holder is a real pain. In which case I could just hot glue all that in. Yep, if in doubt, hot glue. That's what's happening. So, I have hot glue. Hot glue, the bodger's friend. Unless I put them all on one side. I wonder if that matters. It doesn't really matter if it sits at an angle like that, does it? I'm going to stick them all on one side. Why not? Yeah. If all goes wrong, I'll just make another one. Hot glue makes such a mess. Gets the job done though. Right, one down here. Ah, interesting. That's bending that out. It's right. It's a bit of a squeeze, but get these last ones in. Get in. Let's see. Alright, well that sort of still goes in. I reckon I could ram that in, that's not a problem. There's a bit of hot snot everywhere. Get off. Oh, well, I'm an idiot. Won't come out now. Okay. So that's in. The next thing, that's a bit tight going in there now. Now this moves around quite a lot. I've tried to add little tabs in the corners. I don't know if you can see that, but this doesn't really fit on there very well, and this moves around. And I reckon if that's moving and that drops in like that, that's going to be a problem. So ultimately, I could do with that being fixed. I don't want to fix it in now though, because I might have to put new software. I'll definitely have to put new software in this to change the timing of how often it sends a signal to the server. Bit of background. This goes into sleep mode in between taking a measurement, because if it's connecting to Wi-Fi all the time, it's going to use loads and loads of energy from the battery. And it'll flatten the battery really quickly. So this goes into sleep mode and turns off this little transistor, which cuts off supply to the gyro sensor. And then every, don't know, I haven't quite worked out how often yet, probably once an hour, this wakes up, puts power onto this, that does its magic, this connects it back to the Wi-Fi network and shoots its information out, and then goes back to sleep again. Should use, when it's asleep, it should use absolutely no current whatsoever. So we'll see. Well, first thing is, let's see, I might cut that back a little bit so it's not quite so bulgacious. So it's not quite so bulgery. So it goes in and out of here. At the moment it sticks. And then I won't be able to get it out again. So what I'm going to do is find some tools. You know, one of those I'm going to hurt myself in a minute moments. This is that. Just before I jab this knife into the side of my thumb. I go, probably should be doing this because I'll probably really hurt myself in a minute. As you'd expect with a lot of these videos, there's going to be a lot of me going, not sure. Oh, stop putting it in there! No, it'll come out again. I'm an idiot. There we go. A little bit more off that side. Maybe a bit more. Remember, kids, knives. Bad things happen. It's not tragic, it comes out. Alright, well, I've got another battery that's charging at the moment. I'm going to see if this one comes out, and I haven't just permanently wedged this one in, because this battery doesn't work. If I've done that, then I'm an idiot. Oh no, cool. Alright. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, well, it did something. So at the moment this is set up every 10 seconds to take a measurement. See the little light come on. So it'll take a measurement every 10 seconds just so that I know it's doing it and I can see a nice graph. It also helps to at this calibration stage, because I don't want it to I don't want to be waiting ages. I want to put it in, measure it, and get this, see if this weighting's right. So for now, I am just going to stick this in here. Now that might make a little bit of a difference to the weighting, but it won't be very much. But it'll just hold it in one place. Well, that didn't work. That just falls out. Brilliant. I don't really want to use hot glue because it's a bit too maybe I'll have to. It's a bit too difficult to undo. But, yeah. Once a bodge, always a bodge. We'll just put a little bit here. And hopefully that'll just make a little bit of a lip out of that while it's hot. I'll do. Right, let's see if I'm getting any readings. Okay, it looks like I'm getting some readings. That's 5 minutes. Alright. So if I put this at an angle, at the moment it's at 94. 54. Bit more. 30. Cool. Alright. Well, let's see if it floats properly. Right. Hang fire, I'm going to fill a bucket of water. Okay, so I'm starting to notice through editing this video that it's really long and not particularly interesting. So if you've stuck with it until the end of this bit, then good work. I'll try and make the others a little bit shorter and more to the point, but this is kind of the warts and all edit. Let me know what you think. I'm going to make the next video the actual calibration part where I'm putting it in water and doing all that kind of stuff, and then I'll make the beer another video as well. So stand by for the next stage.